Hey, I wanted to show you a couple of things here. So we are going to, very noisy, very noisy. We're going to move the fuel tank here. Oh. What you doing?
Painting, priming.
Why?
So it doesn't rust. I don't know.
It doesn't rust.
This is my first time spray painting.
No, it's not. You've squeezed a spray paint before, haven't you?
It might be the first time.
Really? The first time spray painting?
What else have I spray painted?
I don't know.
I think it's my first time.
No way.
Yes way.
Wow. I must be a bad husband. I do everything, I guess.
You do
Come
all
on.
the painting. Well, I roll paint. I haven't painted.
You paint like a natural. You're doing just fine. So
Oh, thanks.
just get some coverage on there, and yeah. You should turn the fan on to blow that overspray away.
You don't want it on your light?
Not really.
It's kind of hard to see with the light.
You're doing just fine now. Looks good. All right. You only have a lot more to go. So, and then the outsides. So, yep.
All right.
Welds are all painted. Good. That'll work.
It's covered. That's all
Covered.
that matters,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, they're not painted.
It's not professional.
Right. We just got primer on it. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
All right, we're under the bus. I had to pull the exhaust off. I'm trying to make some room so I understand where everything's gonna go. We're gonna move our fuel tank further forward. That's this big glob right here. It's got a heavy plate all the way around it, 1/4 inch thick. It's a beefy protection plate from the back and then the sides. But we're gonna slide that forward and get it closer to the axle up front. We're only gonna go forward about 1 foot. He said he wasn't gonna make any noise. He's making noise. But here's the end of our bus. This is gonna be the back. So we're gonna go forward 1 foot, and then the bumper is gonna be probably 6-8 inches behind the fuel tank, but it still has this plate, and there's 12 inches of collapse space inside here. So safety-wise, we're in good shape, but so there's a big air gap in there. Here, I'll show you. Tank sits way back in there, so gives us plenty of room to feel confident that we'll be in good shape. But when I moved this tank forward, the school bus, when I brought it home, we got it in Iowa.
Yes.
Yeah, we got it in Iowa. I went to put fuel in it, and it was like incredibly slow. But that's due to this pipe being so flat to the tank. So this is actually rubber hosed. So I'm actually going to put a piece of pipe, I think, in there. 2.5 inch pipe, so that it will flow a little bit easier. And obviously, if I push the fuel neck up a little higher, it will help as well. So if I can get a little more slope to it, it will help a bunch. So I need to do that. So I'll move it forward. We'll put a new pipe on, and we'll get better angle at it. But next, I'll see this tank move forward, hopefully, and we'll feel like we're going somewhere. I have to also turn a frame support around. So I'll show you up here if I can get a camera and some light. So this frame support, I'm going to flip over the other direction so that that tank, fuel tank here, can go further forward. That'll give us just that little bit more room, and I think that'll work great. I'll have to disconnect all my fuel lines and everything anyways to shorten it. So once they come out, I'll flip this over. Tank sits on these tracks here, so when I unbolt it, I should be able to just slide it down the frame rail forward because it's got a bunch of fuel in it right now. So I don't want to take it all apart and take it down and have to deal with several hundred pounds of diesel fuel sloshing around in a tank. So anyways, there's the bottom side of our bus. There's the exhaust particular filter way up there. Yeah, they're pretty simple rigs. There's my videographer today. Thanks, dear.
You're welcome.
Well, I thought these plates in the middle of the floor were to access the fuel pump, or at least the top of the fuel tank. There's this filler neck port, comes right over to here, and this is the metal floor. Here's your plywood, and then this little lovely plate was right there, but it's never had the hole cut. So I guess they don't pre-cut them. I need to disconnect this filler hose so that I can move my tank underneath so I can slide it forward. And I thought, well, I can't get to it from underneath very easy, so let's use this access. Well, no happening there. So, alright, well, on to the next piece, I guess. Hold on. Hold on.
But wait.
There might be more. I didn't realize it, but there does seem to be something else in here yet. Screw heads. Maybe. I wonder if anybody's ever calculated how many kids have been on and off a bus. How many times the doors have been opened, or you'd think there's got to be some kind of a guesstimate on that when they make them. 3/4 there. Not a very long screw either. Oh my word.
Are they under the edge?
Well, right here they are. Doesn't seem to be any on that end. See, there's 2 more over here right at the edge. Oh, I broke the bit.
No.
Broke the Phillips bit. What? Give up. Oh, are you kidding me? You don't have to be so painful to do it. see movement finally.
Could it be?
What could it be? Could it be? I gotta take this entire.
You gotta take that whole, all these strips off.
I think I can get it up and slide it over like I did the other one a little bit. That's what we were looking for. Yeah, gold. Found gold.
We found it.
All right. Now I can take that hose off. More dirt to deal with. All right, so we're gonna. You're on that. Oh, you're on. That's not sliding.
You're pulling the plank apart.
What?
You're pulling the plank apart.
Well, because it's not moving.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, she's
It moved a little bit.
moved a little
Oh, you know what?
You're I didn't rust it up.
No, I'm ahead by 3/4 of an inch already. It went pretty easy the first little bit. There's nothing in the way there. Nothing in the way there. Oh, maybe up top that one of them fittings from the top side.
Yeah, we go look up there.
Yeah, take your GoPro with and see if you can see what, if one of them fittings is catching that rib maybe.
All right.
Then we'll have to go back and take that fitting out.
Okay. See what we can see.
I have to go up and pitch down on the top.
All right.
That would be about my only option.
Stop. Hold up. I don't know if that's
Is that the smaller of the fitting?
the.
It's big.
Can you move it just a little bit more once? I want to see if this other. Oh, stop. Yeah, if you could go back a ways. There's a cross member on the top that spans across the top.
That has to come up?
You have about 3/4 of an inch between the tank and that cross member. Going clear across, it's like 1.5 inches by
So what are we
4.
going to do here?
There's a fitting and a hose that aren't gonna go under that.
What are we going to do?
Several fittings.
Can we?
actually.
Can you see that support across the top
Yeah.
from the side? That has to come out. Can we take it out?
Oh, because that's attached to the frame.
It's coming across the top side from between the frames like the bottom is. Right here? Yeah, there's bolts in it. Right here. Oh! Take my arm off.
Your fingers in the way?
No, not anymore. You just took my arm off.
Good.
But no, there's 2 bolts on each side.
All right, I got to keep going so I can get.
Yep. You should be able to.
Keep your fingers out of there.
You're crushing the hose is all.
Is that
Okay.
little soft hose?
Yeah, the big
No,
soft.
the big soft hose.
You're good.
Oh, the fuel.
Yeah, go ahead. I got it pulled. You can go another 6 inches.
Felt like it just.
Yep.
So
Okay.
that cross member needs to come out, huh?
Yeah. Because you'll hit even the fill spout with it, I think.
All right.
So, what
That's kind of crapper.
what you need for that? The wrenches or anything?
I got.
No, nothing to say.
Oh.
Frustration.
Trying to get a bracket off in a tough spot using a stubby impact here. It's a little tiny air compressor, battery powered, and so run out of air pretty quick. All right, 2 more bolts. We'll get there.
We did it.
We got it forward. Now I can, I think, line it up with some bolt holes and bolt this thing in. All right, so we got it forward a bunch. Actually, quite a bunch, so I'm real happy. It is forward more than I need. Now I think I'm gonna try to bring it back and just check my bolt holes, because if I can use the bolt holes that were existing, it would make my life a lot easier instead of drilling so many holes at the frame. I need looking for my bar, my alignment bar. All right. This works. I only have to drill 2 holes in the frame to make this hole adjustment. Well, that's if every hole was spaced the same, and they are. Sweet. All right. So we just moved the fuel tank forward a little over a foot. Do I have a tape measure? I do. Actually, moved 11.5 inches forward, and that gets us to, so the bus gets cut off right here. Yeah, the bus will be about that long, or we're going to call it right there. So the bumper will be back a little bit behind that, and yeah, I'll put the big safety bar plate back on here. I'll be super happy. All right, I got to move the filler neck and stuff forward now too. Reconnect my fuel lines and fix my gas gauge probably before I put my gas gauge in. And I got to cut a hole in my floor so that the hole you're seeing me through is the old one. We need to go foot forward and cut a new hole.
All right.
Yep.
Is that it for today?
Today? Well, I gotta get it bolted in and do all this other stuff. But I don't know, what time is it? It's feeling hungry time.
Yeah, it's hungry time.
Our exhaust is gonna go behind the diesel particulate filter, right out the side, and then either up or just pump out the side way up towards the front. We're not going to run along exhaust pipe all the way to the back like the school bus has. It's going to exit out the side, and then we'll see how that plays out. But trying to save as many areas for storage compartments as we can. We're going to build boxes that'll come down to fill this space over, so it'll be 24 by, I think it's 17 inches deep. To give us some pretty big boxes. One will get a generator, pressure washer, obviously the gray water, black water. The pressure washer will have its own water tank too. I'm assuming. Haven't really got to that point yet in my head. But what else? Tools. There'll be a lot of tools and stuff underneath there, spare parts, that kind of stuff. In the back here, we're going to try to get chutes for our ramps, so our ramps will slide down over the top of these toolboxes. Nice big wide ramp will go down through there, about 8 feet long ramp. Yeah, so that's kind of the bottom side of this thing. Might spray foam between each of the ribs, depending on how that all works. Maybe more so just in the front living space. But we're going to be at 32 feet long, so it'll be a little bit shorter. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's just a lot of work, lots of pieces. So we're doing all right. Just a quick update on the outside of our Skoolie. Getting ready to put our sheets on. So we removed all of the adhesive that was on the old hat channels, and then caulk around the top edge, made sure everything is smooth and clean. We're going to prime this quick, especially our hat channels. Make sure we don't have any rust coming through from any of that stuff. So we're going to give it a quick prime. That's going to be Lee's job. And yeah, all of our welds are smooth. The transitions are what they need to be so that they don't show any wavering in the metal when we pop rivet them in. So we've done all the way along this side. And up here in the front, we've had to make some small adjustments. So this doorway actually was squarer than the rest of the bus in a bad way. So when the bus comes up, it kind of narrows. This kind of really narrowed to get this door to lean back. I'm not sure why they lean. If you look at the line, the caulk line, this door leans back pretty substantial. So this actual channel was leaned back more. So we made some cuts and we tried to bring this back out a little bit. And now there's actually a piece of angle iron in there to kind of stiffen it and drive it out when we welded it up. And we're going to actually leave that there. Our hat channels up in the front are welded in. We took off the back, when we cut the back off, we took this nice rounded 90 and made some bunch of cuts and trims to make it fit to the lip on our windshield. As this comes around, you can actually see this is overlapped and then it goes under the roof of the bus, but it gives us the bent corner that already existed. So it really gives us a nice feel around the top and then a lip over our windshield here. So this will be one flat straight piece and the side will be one flat straight. I see a lot of people try to make that bend and they go through a lot of work to make that bend and then still shove it up underneath there. Since we're cutting the back off, we had the back bends and they're super heavy. They've got reinforcement inside. They've got a lip along the edge, so they're strong, they hold their shape. And we actually were able to weld it into the framing that we put across the top. So now we'll cross the top, and then we've got a couple little, I don't know, what do you want to call them, metal studs. Something we can actually put some pop rivets into and tighten all that up so it has some structural as well as won't be bouncing around making a ton of noise when the wind's pushing on it. So I'm liking that. That turned out really well. When we get that plated over, we'll cover up our holes. There won't be lights up top unless we do like maybe a bar light or something like that. Just kind of be able to light this area if we were doing the work on something out here on the front. Our airport is here on the front because it does have air. So there's shop air for airing up tires or whatever we want on the Jeep. So. Or using air tools. Most of what we use is electric, but just in case, all that sits down in here. So it'd be nice to have our light over here for working would be more so in the front. All our tools will be on the side, so that's not really gonna make much difference there unless I put all my lights on the side, so I don't know. We haven't figured all that out yet. But coming around, this side is still in the process of being cleaned. We haven't finished up anything with this top yet, but we'll try to get this wrapped and pound it in real nice so it lays out the way it should. Still removing this adhesive. We're using a flapping wheel on the grinder, a flap wheel, 120 grit, and it kind of pulls that adhesive off pretty decent. Thankfully I've got help with that because I don't like clean dusty things and trying to breathe all that. So he's got a mask and some safety glasses and seems to be having a blast. So this side we're coming along. I don't know where's he done. Nice. Got a little bit back there by the door, and then all of a sudden this is all done to about here. So he's got a little more to go here, and then hopefully he'll go back. But it's been turning out pretty good. Our sheets of steel are here. They cut them to size. That's an interesting story. I asked for specific measurements, and they cut 10 sheets all the exact same. I needed 8 the same and 2 that were cut different, and so I think I can make it work. I just have to do some cutting of my own. So didn't realize it until I was halfway home, so I think I can manage. It's 16 gauge we're using, and it's galvanized. which is what everybody talks about. So hopefully it's the right stuff and it paints well and works the way it should. I'm trying to think, as we hang them back up, we use a little bit of caulk on the edges. Most of the sheets won't have anything. There is nothing sheet to sheet on these things. On a school bus, there's just a big overlap, and we'll do the same. But they did glue the steel to these, even though, let's back that up. The steel does not seem to be glued to these. The window frame pieces were glued. So I don't
the
know.
only thing holding the steel on
Is screws.
is screws.
Yeah. So we've unscrewed a
Wow.
couple of panels and they just slide down. So there was no glue here. But this panel that went between the windows that you pounded off, or Lee pounded off, not the people on the camera. It'd be nice if
I pounded
you
them
can
off.
all come and help. But Lee pounded off, were glued on, and those were the little strips between the windows. I'm not sure why they were glued on. Because there was screws in them as well. Interesting. So I guess I thought about maybe putting some panel adhesive behind them, but as many pop rivets that are going back in, I see zero reason to do that. Yeah, something to think about. The top edge will get butyl up there, or a variety of caulk before we go. I want to have that top edge sealed, and it's going to lay over top of the roof metal that's up there, but short of the screws that are across the top. Those little screws will be just short of them, and then their rain gutter piece will go on, and that rain gutter will get seam sealed as well, so that nothing can get into that rain gutter. But if it does, it can run out of the rain gutter, but not down the inside of my sheet. That way that's really protected. And then we will re-seam seal the roof across the top of the roof. Try to make sure that there's no issues and leaks up there. Yeah. All right, it's been fun. I don't know how fast we can do this, but we're trying. I still have to work once in a while, and actually this next week I have a fair amount of work, so hopefully we can get a video or two out. Yep.